So this week we're talking about guided meditation, guiding yourself in meditation, and receptive meditation. And I'm adding in another um, point, which is about the witness. But first, let's backtrack a little bit. So, in reflective meditation, we don't guide you in the meditation. We trust you can find your own guidance or your GPS, as Linda referred to it in her talk a couple of days ago. And I spoke about how in the instructions in reflective meditation, there are times when we need to guide ourselves, and it's even written into the basic instruction. And I really like that on the Sati Sangha website, they characterize this guiding ourselves as care. So we suggest receptivity to people new to reflective meditation because we're so conditioned to try to direct and control our experience, to try to make it better, to try to make it how we think it should be, or how we were told it should be. And we believe it's not usually or often necessary to do this, and that there's a kind of freedom and also a relief that comes when we can let go of that kind of need to control or direct, or let's just put it in other words, always be on top of what's going on. And as we become more receptive more often, we learn that most of the time our minds are trustworthy. So I decided to read a little bit from an article that I wrote quite some time ago. And I think it's called Trust Your Mind. And I'll just read a couple of paragraphs. Relax. Don't struggle to direct your attention in meditation. You might fear this kind of freedom, worrying that your thoughts will do exactly what they usually do, daydream and ruminate, and question how this will be different or helpful. The answer is somewhat simple, conceptually. You will do what you usually do, but you will also trip into more satisfying states of mind without trying so much. You will likely develop more awareness of habitual patterns, and this awareness in itself is transformative. You can trust your mind in meditation. This is a radical statement. It shouldn't be, but it is. Meditation instructions are in part about how to restrain, train, and correct the mind. Meditators are told directly and indirectly that the mind left to its own inclinations is naughty, even dangerous. This can ring true because mental patterns are tenacious. Some of them deeply hurt us. What reflective meditators can trust is the development of awareness and a gentle, reflective inner dialogue, a trusting curiosity, rather than specific instruction, to help you become more aware of what's going on in your inner world and what you are thinking, feeling, and sensing. Think about it. When you're with a trusted person, you can reveal more of yourself. Over time, you develop this trusting stance towards your own experience. You gain greater awareness of your usual states of mind as you reveal more of yourself in meditation. This awareness will transform usual ways of relating to these states of mind. This trusting curiosity slowly enters your life. You gain more awareness of what you are doing and saying throughout your days and the inner world you inhabit. So back to the talk from the reading. Once we become more aware of the landscape of our inner life, we might just find that we are actually guiding ourselves more, not, the receptivity is still present, but it doesn't have to be the whole show. But the guidance is different now. It comes from an inner knowledge. Really, it's a tried and true knowledge. We've tried it out over and over again, and it proves to be true. An inner knowledge that guides us to what may become more beneficial. Again, may become more beneficial. We're never certain. Here's a couple of examples. Maybe we need some more relaxation, and we're familiar with how to develop that in meditation. And by the way, that might be from some of the more usual meditative instructions, but now we've taken them on as our own, and we know they work for us. And those are the ones we choose. Or another example, being on a thought train. And we've been on it countless times. It feels like thousands, and it just keeps being a dead end. And we sense that this time again, there's nothing new to be learned from going down that repetitive thought stream. So we know how, and we do redirect our attention. There will be many times when it actually is more caring to guide yourself in meditation into different bodies, different states of body, mind. And now I quote myself again from an earlier talk. What's important here is that we become our own guides, that we learn that we are as reliable as outside authorities, maybe more reliable, that we won't go to the depths in unimaginable ways, but instead the depths will be revealed in manageable chunks, and we'll redirect when it's too much. And over time, we do become more reliable than outside guides because we best know what's going on internally, what we need, and when we need it. So now going to that term I mentioned earlier, the word is witness. This is a common term that's used in meditation, to be in the witness stance. And the way I think about it is the witness stand is sort of sitting near by my side and watching in neutrality and awareness. The guiding voice in my experience is just a little different than that, or maybe a lot different. The guiding voice actually knows my inner world. It's reflected upon so many experiences and have what I call an internal database. Of course, that's not necessarily a conscious database, but somehow from over and over again, it knows. And it can it interacts and interplays with what's going on in the moment in our experience, getting a sense of what's best. And really, I think the difference, hopefully, between the guiding voice, because we can develop different guiding voices, but the one I'm suggesting is a guiding voice that cares about us, one that wants best for us. And it directs us, taking again its directions not from an outside source, but from what we know of our inner world and the path that's best for us. In specifically in the moment, in the conditions that we find ourselves in. That is the end of my talk for this morning. And so we'll go into that not guided meditation, or self-guided meditation is perhaps the best word for this.